Hey friends, welcome back to the studio. Today I want to slow things down a bit, talk design, not techniques, not tools, but intent, thought process, and inspiration. This is the Gloom Sire, the first of the Shadow Sovereigns in the Eternal Siege. And before we talk about shapes, proportions, or details, I want to tell you something important. This creature was never meant to feel loud. Its original thought was smoke and mist as ethereal silence, to which later electricity was added as a means of modern infiltration. When I first started sketching the Gloom Sire, the idea wasn't, let's make a scary monster. It was more, how do you design something that you did not know was there, but felt its presence while it already knows you're there? That's where everything began. Smoke, for me, has always represented silence and ethereal. It hides, but it doesn't disappear. It lingers, it waits. So the earliest versions of the Gloom Sire weren't even fully solid. They were shapes emerging from fog, elongated, serpentine, almost unsure of their own boundaries. A presence that slowly consolidates at first, to finally solidify in something to reckon with. That immediately pushed the creature away from brute force and toward intelligence. At some point, something interesting happened during the sculpt. The creature started to feel regal. Not armored, not decorated, just confident. That's when the idea of Veiler of Kairos appeared, a medieval king whose power didn't come from armies, but from information, spies, manipulation to obtain quiet control. And that changed everything. The posture straightened, the silhouette became upright and composed. The horns started to resemble a corrupted crown. This wasn't a beast. This was, although corrupted, a ruler who never needed to raise his voice. Now let's talk about the heart of the design. Literally, the chest core is the most important part of the Gloom Sire. That glow represents the moment of judgment, the moment Veiler was struck by divine lightning as punishment for his evil deeds after refusing to give up his evil and repent, even after being cornered. This wasn't redemption, it wasn't mercy, it was divine punishment through containment and eternal suffering. His soul wasn't erased, it was pinned, trapped, tormented, and that trapped energy became both his punishment and a power by which hell perused its agenda. That's why everything in the sculpt pulls toward this point. The ribs curve inward, the anatomy feels tense, almost strained at containing the energy. He's frozen in a permanent state of impact, caught between divinity and damnation, mortally punished by Haven, eternally used by hell. In the sculpt, you'll notice that the Gloom Sire is never fully present. The tail and back dissolve into smoke. The feet feels half-formed and only slightly touching the ground to indicate loss of weight. Some edges are sharp, others fade away in smoke. That's intentional. This creature doesn't arrive, it manifests slowly. Smoke isn't an effect here, it's anatomy forming. And electricity isn't decoration, it's habitat, source of energy, power, and locomotion. Just like electricity flows invisibly through our systems, the Gloom Sire moves through circuits, signals, and eventually even artificial thought, which feed on electricity just like him for sustenance. And that is why he is so familiar and can hack such systems. He inhabits them. One thing I was very careful about in this design was keeping it timeless. No cables, no screens, no obvious tech. That allows the Gloom Sire to exist in the medieval past, the modern world, and the future without ever needing a redesign. Our systems evolve, he simply adapts. That's why the forms are organic but structured, abstract but readable, ancient yet compatible with progress. At tabletop distance, the Gloom Sire needed to read clearly. Glow guides the eye to the source of energy and lore. Smoke supports the silhouette instead of hiding it. Colors were carefully chosen to match the lore. But up close, I wanted him to feel like an artifact, something you'd handle carefully, inspect slowly, and maybe even feel a bit uneasy about owning. maybe he'll infiltrate your personal systems one day. The Gloom Sire can have this effect, and if he does, I will have reached my ultimate goal, the one of having something you remember of, care for, and maybe pass off the mythos to future generations on which he will have the same effect. Because this isn't just a miniature, it's a presence. So, that's the design intent behind the Gloom Sire, a king of secrets, damned by divine lightning, sustained by smoke and electricity, and forever adapting to the systems humanity builds to control the world, to try once again to gain his control, but damned to eternally be forced to leave it to greater evil, which eternally control him. If you've got thoughts, ideas, or interpretations that could improve this lore, please do not hesitate to drop them in the comments. I genuinely read them, attribute your contribution, and gladly use them to shape where this universe goes next with your help. And if you ever need help, guidance, or you're looking for unique, professionally painted miniatures, you can always visit dressart3d.com to contact me. Thanks for watching, friends. Have a great week. Ronin out.